All right, folks, welcome back. We're at Jegs once again. Terry's back.
Back in black.
Enjoy your vacation.
And yellow. No, I did not.
No, you did not. No,
I
you did not.
It was a medical vacation. So medical vacations are never fun.
No sun and sand and beach.
No. I got to kick up in my recliner couch and look at my foot for 6 days.
That does not sound fun at all.
It was not.
Well, hopefully you watched a lot of YouTube videos.
I did.
Good. Thank you. I
got caught up on a lot of YouTube videos.
Good.
Because there is nothing on television nowadays.
Right. There is nothing I actually want to watch.
No.
So, you haven't seen this yet because it isn't even live on the channel until about an hour from now.
Okay.
We are working on a 599 cubic inch Big Block Chevy on methanol.
Holy crap.
And we need a fuel pump that will handle that. We also need to have one that will do return regulation off itself, which I believe MagnaFlow has.
Yeah.
Is not this MagnaFlow.
Right.
So, I believe it's the ProStar 500.
Yeah, I think it's exactly.
And I believe you have one in stock here.
I think you were right on that too.
I hope, because otherwise I got to drive to Delaware.
No. I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah.
Okay. We're expecting this
Doesn't matter if it's the black one or the purple one. It doesn't matter.
It's going to be it's the house dyno.
Okay.
So, what we've discovered, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Holley dual pump 1800 does not do methanol.
It does not.
So when you run methanol,
it will run a 85.
Correct.
Fine, but it will not run straight methanol.
Correct.
It does bad things to magnets.
Bad things happen on the inside.
Bad things happen on the inside. Yes.
So what has happened with this thing is it's run for forever as it was. Mm-hmm. As it ran methanol on the dyno, I believe is what happened. Things went bad in the inside, and it now draws too much energy, and it keeps kicking fuses.
That's what it does. It turns methanol, and Billy will attest to this. It turns to jelly if it's not a pump that's made for methanol. What it does, it's like a blender for methanol. What it does, it churns it up and it turns to gum. And so what it does, so everything is coated, so it won't turn as fast as it's supposed to. So
give me more power.
Yeah, and what it does, it knocks the circuits out every time.
Yeah.
Boom, every time.
So because we ran this, it's one of the, I think you have one, the Holley dual pump setup. Yeah, this one here.
Yeah,
and that's what we've been running, which is two of these.
Pump.
Right.
It's a fantastic pump. It just won't work on methanol.
And it was a great pump.
Yeah.
Until we ruined it. So, it's no longer a great pump.
Yeah.
But that's dead. And essentially what we're looking for is something like this, just without the filter element.
Yeah.
But it still has that piece.
Yeah, it still has a bypass. Yeah.
Yes, it still has a bypass. Because we're running this carbureted. And we don't want to run, 30 pounds of fuel pressure.
Right.
Also, I need to be able to adapt. I believe those are 10 ANs.
Yes.
I need to adapt those down to 8s.
That's
so
fine.
I need 10 to 8s.
No problem.
And that's it.
Okay. I'll get you one. This is what we're bringing back.
Yeah.
That's a 750.
Yes.
All right.
And not methanol.
No, it's not. Same deal. It's a great pump.
Great pump. Not what we need.
Not for methanol.
We're really not in the mood to destroy another.
Not for street car.
Yes, not for street cars. If you've never been here before, if you've never watched any of my videos from here, this is 11th Avenue Jegs. This is where all the magic happens. This is where Terry works. This is where this is where all the original Jegs comes from. They did all the magic back in the back there, and it's where I am 2, 3, 4, 5 days a week, depends on what the week is, especially as it gets to be hot rod season. These guys support us in what we do, and they're always on board for interesting stuff. So have a whole lot of things coming with these guys, and I do come up here quite a lot because they are genuinely great folks. They will all do everything they possibly can to make sure we get done what we need to get done, and will go out of their way to do so. Specifically Terry, Craig, everybody that's here, all great people. So I'm fortunate to have these guys about 10 minutes from my house and like 15 minutes from our shop, so it's an easy run to. The other nice thing is, because they're based here in Central Ohio, their warehouse is only about 20 minutes or so that way. So 30 minutes maybe. Even if, worst case scenario, if I need to go up to the warehouse to pick something up, it's easy to do. So Terry will get me a new fuel pump and fittings, and then off to the back to the dyno. This is Monday, by the way, if you're keeping track. I am supposed to be on the road to Tennessee today. I doubt that's going to happen because we really want to get this big block fired up and see what we can pull out of it. So, wait for Terry to come back up here and we'll finish this transaction off. In and out the car.
Yeah, in and out, in and out.
So,
Got Uncle Bob on the phone here. Double check
they're
myself.
adapting fittings for us on this fuel pump, and and I said we are 8 ANs
Yes, both sides.
on both sides, but should that be that way?
This has 12 AN ports, so we can step it down from whatever we want to whatever we want to. I just want to make, and then it's an 8 AN bypass.
Yeah, we'd have to be getting new hoses if you wanted to.
I know, but is there a reason to do that?
I don't know.
Let's just do the 8 ANs.
Okay, so we're going to step from 12 to 8s, and it's got an 8 bypass line as well, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the pump you're getting has that bypass built into it, right?
Yes.
And it's that 8 AN on that,
Yes.
on the pump? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So pump in is 8 AN, pump out to the carb is 8 AN, and the bypass port is also 8 AN.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect. We'll get them. I'll see you guys here in an hour or so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, anything else? One piece oil, Big Block Chevy oil pan gasket.
Yes.
What else?
I don't know.
I can hear your gears grinding from here.
He's looking around. I don't know what for, but I think that's it.
That's it?
Yep.
All right, I'll get everything and head your way. Thank you. Almost forgot the oil pan gasket. That would have sucked because then we couldn't get the next Big Block Chevy on.
That would have sucked.
Doing 3 in a row. Well, that one's Billy's. So,
Oh, Billy's?
yeah. Billy's back in town, I think.
Did they come back?
I think they raced this weekend.
Race down
Yeah.
there in Florida.
Yeah.
Yes. Excuse me. Saturday.
I could be wrong. It's happened before.
About going to bring to where Bill was going to go.
Oh,
Bill was racing on at Georgia,
yeah, he was in South Georgia.
but I don't know if he went. If they ended up going or not.
Who knows? It's hard to keep track of all those boys.
You gotta have a program.
Gallivanting all over the country doing race car stuff. Hard to keep track of those boys. All right. That's a hefty pump. There we go. So that's our new pump, and it has a built-in bypass. So in from the tank, out to the carb, bypass back to the tank. One thing we have run into with this thing is moving a ton of fuel, so you have to have a bypass set up to be able to do that. And then we've got a regulator that is post-carburetor, at least currently, to be able to hold that pressure at the carburetor and hold all that fuel at the carburetor. What you really don't want to do is to run out of fuel on this thing on the big end and lean it out. We got to be careful about that kind of stuff. So this is going to be a bit more carburetor than we need. I think this is rated for 2,000 horsepower. Yeah, 2,000 horsepower. We're not shooting for quite that, but there's a decent chance that we hit 1,000 horsepower on this thing from what we saw yesterday. you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you go watch it. It's a good one. This thing is an animal, I believe is the way that, or a monster. I don't know what phrase Bob used, but it's certainly making some power. Makes some good noises too. All right, and I remembered my other stuff I need. Good job, Austin. So there is no such thing as a, or we don't have a 12
We
to 8.
don't have a 12 to 8 here.
So we're doing 12s to 10s,
To 10s.
and then 10s to 8s.
10s to 8s. Which I said, for bigger horsepower motors, if he's going to run bigger horsepower motors on dyno anyway, then you almost have to have the
Yeah,
10.
go to a 10 AN anyway.
That's a 5/8 line compared to a 1/2 inch line. So
We may be literally running into the end of flow rate of what those hoses can handle.
right, exactly, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And you got whatever it was you said yesterday. I mean, how much? I wonder how much of that is being held back by amount of fuel flow.
It made 923 on race gas without any problem. And no timing. That's 31 degrees.
31 degrees.
Haven't touched the time. It's a monster. Okay, for all you hot rod race car guys, something you need to pay attention to. The Pro Tuner, right,
Pro Tuner.
is all fuels and E85.
Right. All gasoline and E85.
Right.
Up to E85.
Correct.
Right.
But no methanol.
No methanol.
When you switch over to the Pro Star,
Right.
that gives you all race fuels, ethanol,
Everything.
and methanol.
Right.
So don't run.
I mean, you can run kerosene through it. It doesn't matter. It'll run on anything. Alcohol is really, really, really dry,
yeah,
and that's the problem with it. What it does,
you can feel it on your skin.
you can feel it on your skin. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes so much more of a volume of alcohol to make the same amount of power on gasoline.
Right.
Actually, it'll make more power once you get enough of it in there. But that's the problem. And the problem it being so dry is everything that's on the inside of that, magnet-wise, all that stuff, it all just comes off. The fuel gels up, corrodes everything because methanol is extremely corrosive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you even see it on the spark
Oh
plug
yeah,
test.
it's extremely corrosive, and boy, it sure does run good. Sure does run good.
Well, and it doesn't cost, like, I think the race fuel we ran yesterday was $30 a gallon?
Yeah,
Something like that. It was like $200 for a 5-gallon jug.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. This is the point where Terry takes my money, and
I don't know. It's going to be.
it's going to be close. But
Close.
I'm still going to owe you something. All right.
I can make that happen. So
All right. What'd you take out of my pocket? $40?
$30.
$30?
$30, yeah. Because I was going to give you $10.28 back, and this was $48 or whatever it was. So $10, yeah, 30. So you paid me $30.77. So that's not bad.
That's a cheap day for me to come in and
That's
see
a
you.
cheap day at Jegs. There's no doubt about that.
All right.
That's yours.
There's that. Thanks,
That's
sir.
yours.
Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Glad to see you up and about again.
Yeah, I'm glad to be up about it again. I'm telling you.
Quit doing that. Whatever you did, quit doing it.
Yeah, it's well, I can't. Because all I'm doing is living.
Yeah, it's not a me thing.
All I'm doing is living, and then the infection finds its way in all by itself. So it's one of those things. It's chronic cellulitis is what it is.
Gotcha.
And so I wouldn't say it's like clockwork, but I usually get it 2 or 3 times a year at least. And all it takes is can't see them, and it gets in a scratch in my leg or something in my leg, and as soon as it gets in there, it's infected.
Here we go.
And I've got another week's worth of antibiotics to take. And if it was up to me, if I could take antibiotics every single day and not ever get it again, I'd do that. But
Yeah.
the doctor says you can't do that.
There's a lot of biotics
Yeah.
that are out there that, yeah.
You can't do that. He goes, you ever heard of superbugs for the ones that the antibiotics don't like? That's how they start.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right.
Okay.
So this is yours. This
That's
is mine. This is mine. Always a pleasure,
Thanks,
sir.
brother. Always a
Thank you
pleasure.
much.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Bob's. Oh, yeah. It's a decent day outside. Get the hot rods out and put some miles on them. Other than the fact that there's salt everywhere. Cool old shop truck. Class of 46. I like that. Very cool. I feel like I was just here. I feel like I'm always just here. Uh-oh. He's crank grinding. Bob's favorite thing to do. His favorite job.
Right.
Don't bother the man while he's doing the magic. Probably doing magic on my crank. So I definitely don't want to bother him. Is it perfect?
Absolutely.
Good job.
Settles for nothing but perfect.
There you go. This is the Pontiac 350 crank.
Yep.
Going into the 350 HO. If this is your first video, that's Bob. He'll say hi to you here in a little bit. He's busy doing very tight tolerance stuff. What that is my Pontiac 350 crank. Not to be confused with this Pontiac 350. We're actually building two Pontiac 350s at the same time. This is a stock bore, stock stroke, stock original crankshaft Pontiac 350. It's going to be cast iron headed, 9-to-1 compression, somewhere in that range. Basically, a stock factory rebuild. Except for it's got forged eagle rods and it's got SRP pistons. So we are not reusing the original rods and pistons that were in this. We had one rod that was kind of screwed, and it just didn't make financial sense to be able to put it together with one screwed up rod. So this thing is going to be a really stout bottom end, way more than what we actually are going to be using this thing for. It's going to be just for my cruiser 1971 Pontiac Le Mans. We're going to take it back to exhaust manifolds, take the headers off of it, aluminum or cast iron intake manifold, quadrajet back on it. So it'll be old school as old school could be, original Pontiac style stuff. What he is working on is the HO crank that we're going to be using, which is not technically an HO, but we're building it that way. We have another Pontiac 350 block that we're going to be using this crankshaft in. We're going to be using those exact same rods. We've got a custom set of pistons. We've got a set of big valve heads with screw-in studs. We're going to do some port work on it. We're going to squeeze as much as we could possibly squeeze out of it with a roller valve frame out of it, roller camshaft, and we're going to see what we can get out of it. It's going to be a lot more spirited than the factory one is, and the big question is going to be, is the juice worth the squeeze? Does it make sense to spend that money? The neat thing, or weird thing, kind of unique thing with Pontiac is all Pontiac blocks are basically the same thing. So like AMC, with the in the Pontiac world, a 350, a 400, and a 455 all fit in the same hole, all use the same accessories. The external dimensions are all exactly the same. So similarly, internal components wise are all basically similar. So you're going to have same costs to rebuild different products. So why would you bother building a 350 when you could put a 400 or 455 in the same hole and have the same build costs? Which is one of the reasons most people don't build Pontiac 350s. I get it. I built a 455 for my 1970 Le Mans for basically that exact same reason. But in this case, we want to do it because we want to see what it does. So that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, Bob's on the case and willing to take this project on. And the nice thing is, he's got a dyno right back over yonder where we're going to be able to test these things back to back and see what the difference makes. And see how much, how much miles per dollar we get out of this thing. So I think that catches you up on what's going on. That's not what we're here for today.
If you got, but if you can, that's preferred. So.
Okay. Zach, thank you very much for your information and leading us in the right direction.
Absolutely, no problem.
And stay tuned and watch Adventures with Austin.
Alrighty, man.
All right, see you, buddy.
You have a good one now.
Bye.
So, Bob, time to build a shopping list, upgrade the dyno some more, spend some more money, go back to Jegs.
So we call him his
Terry.
personal number?
No, I'll call him at 11th Avenue.
Have you been calling it so it's in here? What is it? 1-800-JEGS? No.
1-800-3434 is Jegs, but we're trying to call the 11th Avenue store, which should be a 614 phone number in there.
Oh, that's what I asked if you called it.
Terry, we need more parts. Not that we don't love the folks on the 1-800 number, but I happen to have a hell of a relationship with Terry, and that's who we're going to talk to. And press 2.
Here, I gotta go back to work.
To the Jegs retail floor now.
What a headache, Bob. If it wasn't for getting that big number,
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, Jay. It's Ben speaking. How
hell, we
can
get
I
all
help you?
that thing.
Hey, Ben's Terry in there. This is Austin over at Lucor.
You're gonna
Yeah, give me 1 second, Bob. I'll get them to you.
Thanks, sir.
Later that makes way more than that. So
Thank you for choosing.
Listen, I'm not trying to pull a VIP card here. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm sure he could help me out. But as you saw earlier in this video, Terry understands what's going on. He understands my pain.
Thank you for choosing Jegs.
You know what's better than going to Jegs? Going to Jegs
What?
twice. Hey, Terry.
Well, there you go.
Terry, we need more parts.
What do you need?
I need a Holly regulator because this regular we have isn't Billy Badass enough, according to Holly. Time to spend some more money. I need a 510-12-847.
847.
We need a bunch more stuff. I'll be back with you guys in a little bit. All right, folks, so here's the situation. We're going to do some serious dyno upgrading. So we're going to change out the feed line from the tank to the pump with all new AN fittings. We're going to feed this pump with more. The regulator we have is not going to be able to handle what we're going to ask of it, so we need to replace the regulator. We need to change everything to be able to upgrade the amount of fuel that we're going to give to this thing because we're worried that we're not going to be able to feed this thing enough fuel. So that's the long way of saying I need to go to Jegs warehouse, which is about an hour that direction, turn around and drive back here an hour. So it is currently 2:45, which means I'm going to get there at 3:45, back here by 4:45, 4:50, and then we got to get this thing up and running, get all of our lines and everything made. So that's where we're going to go now. That's what's going to happen. So I'm not going to take you along. You don't give a shit. And I'm going to be driving at a just above legal speed limit to be able to get there and back. So see you guys in 2 hours. Welcome to real world dyno stuff. What time did I say I would be back here? Yeah, that's right. On time, baby. Let's get this done. All right, guys. It is
Over there, we need to put some stuff in that.
Get in or
6:34. We are basically ready to rock and roll. We have switched over the whole fuel system. So we have our new Billy Badass MagnaFuel fuel pump here. We are running a 16 AN feed line from the tank to the pump. We're capping off this bypass line. We've got a brand new filter, inline, 100 micron filter. And they're going to be running 10 AN line all the way up. Feeding up here, goes directly to the fuel log. 10 AN, 8 AN back, 8 AN return. And we got our new Billy Badass Holly fuel pressure regulator. This should never need upgrading ever again because I can't imagine we're ever going to need to do something that's going to max out a 10 AN fuel line. But it should be more than capable of doing what we're looking to do, and we're almost done. All we got to do is get the last fuel line, which we had to put a new bulkhead fitting in Bob's fuel tank out here on the wall to get that thing all ready to go. Back there. so we could run a 16 AN line, so it's gravity feeding and never going to run out of fuel between the tank and the pump itself. So, taking some doing, but we've gotten there. This thing made really, really good power when we ran it yesterday. We're going to play with some fuel pressures and make sure we're going to get all the fuel we need, make sure we're not dropping off in pressures. We're going to make some pulls and see what happens. We know where we want to target, and then we're going to see if we're going to pull it off. No idea what this is going to make. All right, folks. We have moved on to, I'm not sure what plan this is. At least plan E. But we have stolen Bob's fuel pressure regulator off of his Camaro race car to do our fuel pressure regulation.
That's good. Leave it there, that's good.
And we finally have a solution. It is 7:40 at night. Hey, Bob. You guys have any noise ordinances out here about late night sounds?
Huh?
You guys have any noise ordinances out here?
Them cows may be pissed off, but that's about it. I
So,
have 150 acres here. So.
I didn't film the last bunch of hours other than a little bit here and there, but I will promise you that everybody in this building is massively frustrated with our situation this evening. But we have finally found a resolution. We're none of us want to go home. We all want this thing to fire up and be able to make a pull. Hopefully, at this point in time, with this old regulator we stole off of his race car and the lines that we were going to be using that are not what we want to be using, we'll see. Hopefully, it will still supply enough fuel to be able to make this thing make a full pull and see what we can do. This is you only get to see the fun stuff whenever you watch a dyno video, and I really wanted this to be a mostly fun stuff video, but this is a real life situation. This is what happens. There's frustrations that are involved in it. It's whether it's a new parts issue, whether it's a we're stupid issue, but it's not all wins all the time. So give me another moment. We'll get this thing fired up and hopefully be able to make a pull. Tickling your eyeballs.
See, that's why we should have left it at 9, because when it's running, it comes down some.
We'll give it an extra half turn. Right. Give the regulator another half turn.
Green one. Somebody pay attention to fuel pressure. If it's low, yell fuel. Take that off. Ready? Yeah.
Fuel pressure carried great.
We're not done.
We're not done.
This is the goal to hit 4 numbers on Bob's dyno.
Yeah. And still haven't touched timing.
Still have not touched timing.
Yeah, this here is dropping out. This one isn't.
Yeah.
Oil
But they're plenty rich.
12.621, so it's plenty rich.
Plenty rich.
Oil pressure
That's what we'll go ahead. You want to do that timing, you and Chris?
Yeah.
So this.
Or unless you want to do
Yeah, look
another
at
one,
the-
but I think this one's nice and smooth.
Yeah, look at the table.
That's a nice graph.
987 and 886 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah. That's a shitload of torque now.
At 31 degrees timing.
At 31 degrees
Got
inside.
a table. Results table.
That's fantastic.
Oil pressure.
What did this make before? 800? Before blah 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 the last time you had
Last
it on
time it was on this
It
engine
did
was
have
on
a
this
fuel,
dyno.
too.
It made 800 and like 2 horsepower and 710 maybe foot-pounds of torque.
But that
It's making
engine,
it all the way up at 6,800 too.
yeah,
So
yeah, it was a nice curve over.
oh wow, look at those EGTs too. Thousands.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one's barely. I mean,
Yeah.
super cool. My goodness, that's cool. And that's super rich too. That's running.
Yeah, now this here, when it comes down here, that's
Yeah.
usually a lockout, but this here is active.
Yeah.
So we'll see what it likes. You know, we can go up and bring it back.
Probably have to have it running though to use the timing light to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
where we are.
Yeah, but I would just actually mark it, take a pin and mark what you got. Probably open that other door to the garage and make get more air in there.
Mark the 31 degree spot and then mark,
Mark
the
the
34
31
degree.
degree spot and then you know where you're coming back to.
That makes sense.
So we were just showing you the overlay, which Austin, you were just remarking about. Did you already talk?
Not on camera, no.
Well,
no.
go ahead and do it.
So this is your. So we get rid of today's run.
That's his today's run.
Check that one. Yeah, that one right there.
This is yesterday's run.
We
Torque
ran out of
curve,
fuel.
horsepower curve, and you can see where it ran out of fuel and it was pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lay over today's run,
Top one.
they lay absolutely identical until it started running out of fuel. That is dead consistent.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean,
It is.
like dead lay over each other until it started running out of fuel. So all we need is
And this is a shout out to your dyno.
and you only used
We need 13 horse.
you need 13 horsepower. 3 degrees of timing.
And we just put 3 degrees of timing in it. We're just under. We'll say it's 34 degrees. Is what we'll say.
We put 3 degrees in it. Yeah, it was just under.
And if it doesn't like it, we'll take a degree away. Well, I guarantee you it'll like it. It sounds like it likes
It
it.
sounds like it likes it.
When you started this process, did you think you'd be having a chance of shooting 1,000 horsepower video? Good thing you brought more fuel.
It didn't really change it.
Did not change it. It didn't change
And it
it.
lost torque.
Yeah, it's just a tick. Oh no, it's significant.
So So this is our one we just done. 2. I'm
Drop
sorry.
off.
886 to 877.
Yeah.
Yeah, drop off this one because that's the old one.
Lost 10 pound-feet, basically.
Right. So you lost torque and didn't pick up any horsepower.
No. So it likes it at 31.
Or 32. Or 30.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find 13
I don't think you're gonna
horsepower
find
between
13.
there and there.
No. Unless we had some nitrous in here to throw in the room a little bit, go up on top and turn on.
Go up through the vent.
Where's your 13 horsepower, Bob?
I mean, we could go down to 28.
Yeah, I was gonna say take it down a little bit, see if it makes more back down low.
I think you might though. I mean, we've only went one way.
Because it's stroke. It sounds more cleaner where it's at.
Yeah.
But we're losing torque.
And we're not picking up horsepower.
I mean,
But
we
we're
could
not
put it
losing
at
a lot of-
28 and see what it does, just so you know.
It doesn't take that long to do
What
it,
if
right?
what if it makes the same at 28 as it does at 31? There's no sense in running, making it hotter if you don't need to. That's if we want to make another pool.
Chris, it's your motor. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean,
Let's go back down to at least 31.
yeah, go back to at least, set it back to at least 31. I mean, short of,
I think if we put it at 31, it's just going to cost.
It's just gonna do exactly what it does before.
Yeah. I think that's it. Hey, but
You want to go home?
me?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a little. I just don't. If there was a way to get 13.
I'm just curious what happens if you take it lower, because our Oldsmobile was the same thing. The knowledge says you run it at this number, and when we put it at that number, it didn't make power. We took a couple of degrees out of it from where it wanted to be, and it made more power. From what knowledge says you do.
28 or 29 degrees in it.
Yeah, just take it down a little
Just
bit.
go one under,
See
one
what
or
it
two
does.
under. Go, 30. I wouldn't go in the 20s. It still would be enough to tell us.
Yeah,
So
and
basically,
see if it
just
gets happier.
cover up your truck you want.
Right.
Yeah. I need you to probably put a little water in it.
Got to break 1,000 horsepower, Bob. You're this close.
I didn't bring my jet kit to,
Right, yeah.
This close.
I mean,
It runs great.
But then again,
And the fuel pressure issues fixed.
well, it's not really fixed.
Well, whatever.
I had to steal shit off my race car.
Bypass. Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah. Have that conversation tomorrow.
You might as well take his regulator back.
I'm not going there in the morning. I'm supposed to be in Tennessee already, hours ago. I should have had rattlesnake pasta already.
But you wanted to spend a day with us.
I did want to spend my morning with you and maybe my early afternoon with you. I did not expect to spend morning, noon, and night with you. We're narrowing in on Bob. Do you have a spare bedroom I can use? Because I still have an hour-long drive to get home.
Actually, I do.
Yeah.
I've already invited Eric Wingard to come out and stay and Dyno play.
Yeah.
But a shout out to your Dyno for people out there that's wanting to get into the Dyno stuff.
It's performing fantastic.
It performs per fan. Down a little more.
And what's if you look at your brake,
22% of it at a marginal up there on the
Yeah.
variables.
at almost 1,000 horsepower
Yeah.
and 900 foot-pounds of torque, essentially,
Yeah.
that's all day. All right, so
There
we're
we
going
go.
to try to back it up to 29.
30, 29, 30, we'll see where it's at here.
Okay. Yeah. So close.
That's what it makes.
So
I put it
131
back
degrees.
to 31. Right now, we mark
Put
those.
it back on the line, that's where it likes it.
What you got? Damn it! You got a number we can fudge? No, it lost it all over the place. It lost torque,
Cow.
and it lost. Yeah, that's super rich. Holy shit! Wow! Wow! Bob, don't breathe in. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh.
It does not like 30 degrees.
Let's not do that.
So when we went up, it sounded
Yeah.
so much smoother.
Well, what do you think we should set it at?
Or one above it.
32, 31.
So just a hair below that line.
I mean, you went with 31, 32. I would go to 33. You were at 35 before.
We
34.
went from 31 to 34.
So go to 32.
Neither one.
We'll let the room clear out for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know.
As soon as you open that door, it just.
Well, you should have walked in there.
I bet. Your eyes are still bloodshot.
Said it went to 33.
33?
Take it down another skosh.
I don't know. I don't think a degree is going to matter a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, 32.
Yeah, I mean, 1
I
degree.
can leave it there, that's fine.
You know where it's at.
Right.
Yeah, you can move it a whisker more if you wanted to.
She is definitely rich. But it's 202 squared on the main jets.
Well, you know what you got, where you're at with everything. Probably if I was you, I'd suggest you never really checked the valve latch and stuff, get through all that stuff.
Not since we've had it on here.
You realize I'll do something with that stuff. Thank you guys. Also a shout out to Fuel Factory. They are a sponsor of Bill and I, and we appreciate having fuel availability from them. So it's important to shout out them guys. And Melling and so forth. So, but thanks for everybody's help.
You happy?
Oh, I'm extremely happy. Would have loved to have seen 4 numbers, but hey.
Yeah. At that point in time, it's almost just bragging rights.
Yeah, well, yeah, more or less.
But you can still get by and say it made 1,000 horse.
Yeah. Cool down the temperature a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm extremely happy with it.
Good.
But,
I mean, what it made, what was the final number when 987, 880?
988 and 888, I think.
888.
Yeah, 987.8 and 886.
886 is top one.
987.8, 886.02.
Yeah.
Those are good numbers.
Absolutely. And you said this is a 590 cubic inch
Correct.
with 325 heads on it?
It's got Dart Pro 1 325 heads on it.
Okay.
That were supposedly worked on. Bob and I flowed them over the summer, last summer at some point, and they flowed pretty close to factory out of the box numbers.
So if they were touched, they weren't touched much.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, that's very healthy.
I do believe it has a 23500 intake valve instead of the 230
And that would pick it up dramatic.
intake valve that they came with originally.
Okay.
When you're getting close to this cubic inch, I feel you need a 350 valve.
Let's also say this. That's also in super conservative AFRs.
Very conservative.
We can be very obviously.
And if I would have brought my jet kit, we would have found 12 horsepower.
There's your 12 horsepower.
Very easily.
Right.
But
We just don't have the ability to adjust it.
right,
Here.
I didn't bring my jet kit.
Yeah.
And plus, it's 9 o'clock.
And it's 9 o'clock
Nine
at night.
o'clock at night.
It's a school night.
Yes.
All right, guys, so there you go. That's going to be how this one's going to wrap up. Knocking on the door of 1,000 horsepower, greater than 880 foot-pounds of torque. The numbers are there. We just don't have the ability to adjust this carburetor. The only way we could do that is if we wanted to lean it out just a skosh. We could technically pull back some of the fuel pressure, but that's probably not smart. We're running on a very conservative fuel pressure and a very conservative tune-up on this thing, and it still made almost 1,000 horsepower. So, sounds awesome, runs awesome, should be a hellaciously fun vehicle. We're gonna wrap that up now. It's 8:45 at night. I got an hour-long drive home. I gotta let everybody know where I've been for the last 12 hours, and I appreciate you guys watching. Just FYI, I don't remember if I even mentioned this or not, but if you've made it this far in the video, thank you guys so much for this. We try to do as much as we possibly can up here with Bob as far as dynoing stuff goes, and as much as he'll put up with me being up here, I'll be up here. We've got 2 Pontiac 350s that we're building. We've got some other toys that are on the way as well, so there'll be plenty of dyno content. I am donating everything that this video and all the other videos make through the entire rest of the month of February to the people of Central and Eastern Kentucky who are suffering from flood conditions. So,
And for everybody else that's wondering out there, yes, I still work with Bill and Billy. It's just the fact that Austin has been interested in doing a little video and trying to help him out with his channel a little bit. I think that's called, I don't know, sharing viewership and stuff.
yeah.
So
Well, those boys are busy racing and
they're
stuff, too.
busy racing, but we still got 2 projects going on, you know, waiting on parts for. We're going to have, Billy will be showing his big block here probably in a couple days on the dyno.
That guy right there.
And that guy right there, I got to finish it up in the morning. Hopefully Billy got the lifters. So yeah, don't try to cause any controversy out there.
Nope.
No, everybody's
steal
just,
Bob.
Everybody's just trying to work together a little bit.
Yeah.
So
And Bob was gracious enough to handle my stuff, which is not nearly as exciting as most of this stuff. I'm a pump gas, like 93 octane pump gas kind of guy. But hopefully you guys are interested in that kind of thing too. So anyway, I truly do appreciate all you guys. If you've been here before and you've watched other videos of mine, thank you so much for being here. It's you guys that are helping to pay the bills. In this case, it's you guys that are helping to pay for the donation. I will be heading down to Tennessee tomorrow morning. I will do my very best to get into the area that is being affected by some of this. So that will be something you will see in the near future as far as the video goes. I will be out on an automotive adventure in the next episode. So we'll see where that takes me and what all we get into. So
thank you again. Sunday morning.
we'll see you. Take care. Love you. Bye-bye.